So on this segment, I'll be talking about Arsenal and Manchester City chances of winning the Premier League title this season. It hasn't been that of an easy season for both teams, who have been performing to their full capability and capacity this season. Arsenal have more chance of winning the Premier League title over Manchester City, who are currently number 2 on the table and have been fumbling a little bit on their own parts. But meanwhile, Arsenal have been a good team and they have been trying their possible best to make sure that this season they are able to lift the Premier League title after a long time without winning the title. Mikel Arteta is actually doing a great job for the Gunners, having previously worked with Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola at Man City. They are both now the two favourites fighting to win the Premier League title this season, as that fight wasn't there last season, despite Arsenal's good performance, but wasn't that perfect enough like they have been this season. Arsenal are currently going on a winning streak in the Premier League, which saw them dealing with Manchester United. Despite Manchester United great run of form, which came to them playing against the Gunners, and the Gunners have to clip their wings off, just like they were nothing. The Gunners have been the very good side this season, and they have shown that a lot in all their previous games. And also their strength is not compared to anyone, despite their team not having that much depth. But this January window, Mikel Arteta have gone to the market to make sure he bring in some new players, which he has done that, and is hoping that will help the team and their chances of winning the Premier League title this season. But it won't be that easy for them to just put through and win it, as the likes of Chelsea and other teams who are actually not competing to win the league or in any position to make top 4 have made some major signings and could cost them so much if they have to play against each other. Manchester City are also doing their best from their end, with Erling Haaland firing from all cylinders and every corner and angles. But still yet, the collective effort of the team hasn't been that great, as they currently sit second. Arsenal have been more clinical in their chances than Manchester City, who solely rely on Erling Haaland scoring all their goals. But of recent, it has been Mahrez and other players in the team making sure that they are able to score at least something to keep the team going forward. But as the case may be now, the league title challenge is between both of them, and Manchester United are closely breathing down the neck of Manchester City, which could possibly see the Premier League title now be between Manchester United and Arsenal, which is something nobody expected at the beginning of this season. Manchester United started poorly, losing back-to-back games, which saw them blaming Ronaldo most. And also, Ronaldo was lashing out and made some kind of decisions which actually led to his contract being terminated by Manchester United. But that have gone away, and Manchester United have been cruising ever since he left the team. And they are now stylishly the underdog, or let me say they are part of the title contenders for this season. But it won't be easy for them, as they still have some parts of the team that still need fixing, which we saw during their match against Arsenal that saw them be exploited a lot. And also with Christian Eriksen going down injured and Donny van der Beek also going out, it is now becoming an injury-plunged team under Erik ten Hag, who currently have Fred and Casemiro as the only holding midfielders in the team. And any problem happening to either of both players could put them in a position where they have to force other players to play in a role that isn't theirs to play this season. Moving back to our top two favourites to win the Premier League title this season, Manchester City haven't been that bad themselves, but the funny story about them is that they did not make any new signing during the January window, and that puts a big question as to, are this team good enough? Is Pep Guardiola confident enough that his team can go all out to make something happen, despite them still losing João Cancelo, who was loaned to Bayern Munich due to lack of playing time? Well, we hope to see what happens as time goes on. Manchester City will be hoping Erling Haaland can lead them with his good goal scoring form. They will be hoping that can reflect in the UEFA Champions League, which is where they need him most, as that has been the trophy that Pep Guardiola is yet to win since he was hired to take over at Manchester City as their manager. For Arsenal, they have no worries on their back, as they are already out of the Carabao Cup and they are also out of the FA Cup. So their main focus right now will be on the Premier League title and also in the Europa Cup, which they will be hoping they can win either of them before the season comes to an end. Their chances of making the UEFA Champions League next season is already guaranteed, as they are already far away, that the worst that could happen to them is them finishing second. But as it is now, with their current form, there is no telling if they can be stopped by anybody right now, because they are doing so well and they are pushing so hard. They currently lead the Premier League log with a huge amount of points, which they could go about 4 to 5 game losing streak and still end up being number one, depending on how the lower team under them performs. Well, there are also so many concerns for them, as they have the likes of Newcastle United, Tottenham, and Manchester City, Manchester United, who are all fighting to ensure that they could also get a chance as being title contenders, which is also still possible because there's still a long way to go in the Premier League. As of now, they have played up to 20 games, while some have played less. And the season have 38 games, which is remaining 18 games, which a possible 5 loss could do crucial damage to Arsenal's chances of winning the Premier League title. And a run of draws could also mean bad news for them. But they just have to do as much as possible to keep the chemistry going. And with the addition of Jorginho, they have more depth in the midfield, and his experience will count a lot for them in helping them to go far as to winning the Premier League title this season. But as the case may be, Manchester City are still in it also, and they will be pushing with everything they have to ensure they beat Arsenal to that number 1 position, which is also a possible scenario to happen. But we wait to see how things go. And that's all I'll be talking about for today. Hope you like and enjoy this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.